Hey y'all, today's video is part one of part two. I'm going to be working on this front area right here where you see all the violas and pansies. I've got grass coming up through that area. I've got some perennials. I got a lot going on in that area. So today's video is going to be about cleaning it all out, digging up some of the grass, showing you how I deal with that, trimming back perennials, and prepping the whole space for a new set of plants that will be in part two. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up, and drop me a link below. Drop me a comment below and tell me how you get rid of grass in your garden. Okay, so you might hear a thudding in the background. That would be my son playing baseball inside using a tennis ball, and he throws it against the door, and yes, he has permission to do that. But this is the front edge of my garden. Let me stand back so you can see it. This is the view of it from the house. I installed this garden. It used to just be flat against the house, and I changed it up to come out further. And so during the winter and early spring, it has all of these beautiful pansies and violas, but you can tell it's getting too hot for them. They're not looking as good. I actually think the video makes them look better than they actually are. So I'm going to be pulling all of those out. Sometimes they do reseed themselves. I'm going to be pulling those out. I'm also going to be working on this dianthus right here. It is a perennial, so it comes back every year. I'm going to be trimming it back really hard because it's pretty much done with its bloom season. You can see all of this right here. And if you give dianthus a really nice trim, it will give you another round of blooms. So maybe pulling, cutting that back as well. I also have some Dusty Miller, that's a perennial in my area, tucked back in here. I've got a mum. I've got my Canterbury bells that I'm letting them go to seed so that hopefully they will come back again next year. But yeah, I've got a lot going on. So I do want to say, I got this plant right here, y'all. What do you think? What is it? Is it a weed? I don't know. It's the only one. I don't see any other seedlings anywhere else. Yeah. So let me know if you know what it is. It's very stout, like very strong feeling. It's all coming up from like one location down here. I don't know what it is. I've also got a lot of grass I'm going to be dealing with. First, I'm going to pull out the pansies and everything and take a look, and then I'm going to be hand digging out a lot of this grass. So a lot of preparation work for this bed to get it ready for some beautiful summer planting. Okay, so for those of you who say I don't have any weeds or anything like that, I do. I got lots. I got grass. So this is Bermuda grass, and basically the best thing I can do is literally use my hoary knife to dig up as much of it as possible. You can't just pull it, you have to get the roots as well. And then I've got the dianthus trimmed back heavily. I trimmed it by about 50%, so it will start to give me a new flush, which will be great. So I'm going to go through and start removing all the grass and the additional weeds. Okay, got everything pulled out. Next step is adding a layer of compost in. I did find some super tunias. I guess they reseeded themselves. That's crazy. So those are from last year. I think they're super tunias. They could be something else. I'm not sure. Looking good. I think one of the things I'm going to do is move those two coreopsis plants back there, move them forward since I've been doing a lot of taller items there. I think that'll look really nice. But yeah. All right, there's first step. Next step, compost, making sure all of the, actually, you know what? Before I cover it all up, because I was using my hoary knife, I think I'm gonna run the sprinkler or the drip lines just so I can make sure that there's no leaks. Then I'll pin all those back down and add compost to everything, and then we'll start getting ready for planting. Okay, I want to talk about before I put the compost down. So I pulled up all of the drip lines to the surface level and then ran my drips to make sure I didn't have any leaks or anything. Whenever I'm working in a really larger area like this, I like to do that just because it gives me an opportunity to check up on things. It's way harder when you're working on a little bit of an area at a time. Whew, it's hot. But I did that first. So next I'm going to be spreading compost over everything. And then once I have that done, this space will be ready for planting, and that will be part 2. Let's get this compost spread. Okay, we're good to go. 4 bags of compost spread all the way across. I didn't really worry about crushing my daffodil leaves because they're at the end of their cycle anyway, so it's no big deal. Just went right over the top of those. I am keeping some of these Dusty Miller tucked in here. I had a random petunia that seeded itself from last year. I just left it. And then I don't know what this guy is, but I'm gonna let it grow. Y'all let me know if it's a weed. If it's a weed, I'm gonna pull it up. Anyway, everything looks nice and it is ready for planting. So stay tuned for part 2. Okay, so I'm literally gonna go right into planting. A bunch of those plants are over here. So I'm gonna back these up and do part 1 today, and then part 2 will come right the next day, available on video for you guys to watch. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.